1. This is Archive 12, and today we have a new reaction from a very small but very lovable member of the communities that both King Phaedra and the Amethyst Witch / I Am Tatepat have created over on their Discord servers. Her name is DragonLynn, and although I personally have only interacted with her a couple of times, I hope it's her. If it's them, I apologize. I am not familiar, but I have only like interacted with them a couple of times, so I don't know them personally. I just know that they exist in the community, and they are very well loved and very good friends with both Tay and Phaedra and a lot of the friends that the two of them share. And I promised that I was going to react to this this song, which they created last week. It's a cover for Divide Music's Domino track, which is about Jinx. Now this is, as you can see right here on Divide's comment, they created their own instrumental for the song. This is a fan-made song, and because it's fan-made, fan-made cover rather, because it's fan-made, I'm not going to judge it nearly as harshly as many of the other like songs that I listen to, because I don't think Dragon is a professional musician. I think that they're doing this on the side just for fun, which is awesome, and you should totally go support them just to show them some love. Yeah, I'm not going to be hypercritical of any mistakes or any problems that are in this, because of the fact that I am just here to listen to good music. That's all I'm here for. And as a member of both the Amethyst Witches community as well as King Phaedra's, I promised them. I promised them that I was going to do. I think I also promised it in Divide Music server as well. So like I promised them that I was going to react to this, and I'm going to do that. So without further ado, let's get started. I like the way that the instrumental starts with like the very somber piano and the violin. It feels in certain ways very different to Divide's opening of this song, and at the same time also feels very similar, feels familiar, and yet at the same time very, very different. Also, I love all these posters. I love all these posters that are in the background. That's an awesome backdrop. I kind of wish I had something a little bit more organized rather than this. This is something that I aspire for, maybe once I get my own studio.
I was lost and never found, in water till I drowned. My number never pulled, how could I be so fooled? I was ridiculed. Now I won't let anybody ever tell me that I cannot make it on my own. The city is poison to the bone. I hear my voices tell me no one is telling the truth, no one cares about you. They tell me that I'm a domino, always touch and go. I can feel it breaking my very soul. I'm a domino, I will take control. I have made my way back from the rubble. Who's laughing now? The more they lie, the more I know. Who's laughing now? I guess I'm just a domino.
Okay. I will honestly say that I love how Dragon's voice sounds with the higher notes. I feel like she's a little bit more comfortable with like higher singing, but because of the fact that the way the Divide sings a song honestly is a little bit more like deeper for most of this the song, Dragon's trying to emulate that, and it definitely feels a little stiff. But that's just because that's not a registry I don't think Dragon is familiar with. That's not a slight in any way. That takes practice. That is something that, like, professional musicians will probably tell you, that you need to be able to actually, like, do hundreds of hours of practicing in order to get your voice to sound exactly what you want it to sound like on recording. Because what you think it sounds like and what the recording is going to pick up are going to be completely different things. I know when I do my reactions, and when I was doing the JPD readouts and the Doki Doki Literature Club readouts, I thought that my voice... Where'd that accent come from? I thought that my voice sounded different than it actually sounds when you actually listen to it. And that's affected by acoustics, audio quality, the settings that you have on your mic, the microphone quality itself. You know, it's affected by a whole bunch of different things. I love how clear Dragon's voice is, though. I want this mic, and I want this mic setup, because this Elgato Wave 3 sounds nothing like that, and I am envious. I am envious of that sound. But in terms of, like, Dragon's performance so far, it definitely feels like she's more accustomed, or at the very least, more comfortable with higher registries and higher octaves, and the lower ones that she's trying to do to emulate the way that Divide sang this song feel a little stiff. And again, that just comes out of practice. You know, that's not anything that she's doing wrong. It's just more a matter of she's just not used to it, I don't think. I could be wrong about that, but to me, that's what I think it is.
Left me all alone, my fears circled round me till I disappeared. How could I be wrong? I tried to help, I tried to lend a hand. You looked me in the eyes and left with no goodbyes. I know I can make it on my own. The city is poison to the bone. I hear my voices tell me no one is telling the truth, no one cares about you.
I like how she sings this part, but if I'm going to be perfectly honest, I know I said I'm not going to be super critical and super harsh, and I promise I'm not. But the one thing that's taking me out of this section right here is that lower background vocal, which doesn't sound right to me. Like, I feel like this section would probably feel better if it didn't have the background vocal in it at all, if it was just Dragon's voice naturally. I can't tell you why it sounds weird. Maybe it's her voice that's been auto-tuned down. Maybe it's her trying to sing lower and it just doesn't sound exactly right. I'm not sure, but it definitely doesn't feel like it's a good fit for this section. But her part, like her with her natural singing voice, is great. Like, very, very beautiful. It just that little background vocal kind of is taking it away, you know, taking away my attention, I guess, from like listening to the rest of the song, which is unfortunate. But again, practice makes perfect. Audio engineering is difficult, even if you know what you're doing. So whatever was done to that background vocal just didn't feel natural, didn't feel right.
They tell me that I'm a domino, always touch and go. I can feel it breaking my very soul. I'm a domino, I will take control. I have made my way back from the rubble. I'm a domino, always touch and go. I can feel it breaking my very soul. I'm a domino, I will take control. I have made my way back from the rubble. Sometimes I fall into a dream, reality is blinding. For all the ones ones who doubted me. Why is it I'm still smiling? The city brought me to my knees, and I'm the one who's standing. Now I'm the one who's knocking you just like a domino.
Take back all the riff-raff, I don't need that, not a doormat. When I see rats working past that,
They're just another domino.
take back all the riff-raff, I don't need that, not a doormat. When I see rats working past that,
They're just another domino.
Overall, a pretty good cover. There is one last thing, and this is actually something I didn't know until I watched Schwabity do, I think it was the Ash Ketchum cipher that Nerd Out did. No, it was the Ash Ketchum cipher that that Cam Steady did. There's a point in that cipher where it's mostly rapping, and then McGuire goes into a singing section. And Schwabity, during his reaction, specifically stated that when you mix vocals, you have to mix the vocals for rapping differently than you do for singing, because they don't sound right if you mix them the same way. And I did notice when that section right there at the end, the little rap section at the end, it definitely sounded different. It did not sound as clear as the singing. It was, I don't know why the mixing matters for that. I don't know why, like, the differences in that, it's so different. I don't know. But Schwabity pointed it out, and while I didn't really notice it for McGuire's, I did notice it here, where it sounded a little more staticky. It sounded probably a little bit more like my mic, as opposed to how crystal clear the rest of the singing sounded. So, like, Dragon, again, this is not like knocking your performance at all, but I would recommend, if you do go through this again with like a song that has rapping in it, and you do cover a song that is mostly singing but does have rapping in it, I would recommend trying to figure out like how you mix the vocals differently between rapping and singing, because there was very clearly a difference between that at that last little bit. And like, your performance was fine, but the audio was a little bit like staticky compared to the rest of the song, which was crystal clear. So I would recommend looking that up to try and figure out like why it's different and how you can do to mitigate that sound difference, so that way it doesn't happen in the future, in case you ever do other songs or covers. So, but yeah, that's like the one thing that I wanted to point out right there at the end, is because of the fact that Schwabity said that in the Pokemon Rap Cipher, and I didn't really understand it until I heard this, and now I understand that, like, okay, so they do have some difference in the way that the mixing has to happen. So just something to keep in mind, I guess. But overall, like, your performance was great. The little nitpicks here and there, like that backing vocal sounding a little unnatural, and the rapping at the end sounding a little garbled, like, did not take away from the fact that the effort that you put in to create this song was really, really good. And you did a fine job of covering this song the way, and I mean, hell, Divide seemed to like it. I really enjoyed the fact that you created your own instrumental. While it was definitely simple and not nearly as robust as Divide's, it's very noticeable that it is Domino. And like, the way that the piano was performed, I think, was probably the most beautiful thing in this song, easily. Just because, I don't know, the piano seemed to fit this song. And I don't know why. I think Divide uses the piano in the song as well, but like, it's far more prominent here. At least I notice it more here, probably because there's not nearly as much other instrumentation going on, and it made me appreciate it better. But anyway, that's going to be it for me. Hopefully that didn't come off as too harsh. It wasn't meant to be harsh, I promise. It was meant to be like constructive criticism. But yeah, I don't know how many people this is going to reach, but like, for those who are watching this to the end, thank you for joining me. This is Archive of 12, and I will see you in the next video.